Yes, sir. We can just, recap with the 5-10 minutes and then we can start the session for the while more students are joining.
Okay, so good
Yes.
morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir. Please.
Let's start with the recap. Let me present my screen to you. Okay, my screen is visible to you, everyone.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday we have discussed about our course like MCSA plus Azure. Let's let's have some quick recap. Let's start Azure. What is Microsoft Azure? Microsoft Azure is a cloud platform developed by Microsoft. Okay. It is a cloud platform developed by Microsoft. It's provide us services like computing, storage, networking, database. Okay. What is the benefit of using cloud services, cloud platform? Just you can go with the pay as you go pricing model. Like if you are using any resource for 10 minutes, you just have to pay for the 10 minutes. Okay. It is highly scalable. Like if you want to scale up your industry, so you can easily scale up, secure and reliable. It is very secure and reliable. You can trust on Microsoft. Microsoft is a very trustable company. If you talk about certification for Azure, so we have certification from the Microsoft, like Microsoft Certified Azure Administrator Associate. Okay. In this certification, you learn about computing, storage, networking, and security part. Then next you talk about MCSA, Microsoft Certified Solution Associate. It is an entry-level certificate that is designed for IT professionals to start their career or scale up their career. So in MCSA, we have different type of MCSA certificates. The most popular MCSA certificate is Windows Server Administration. So we are preparing for this. So why we learn MCSA? Because it's validate our knowledge upon Microsoft product. We are going to use the server. So it's validate our knowledge, what knowledge we have. Okay. So if you talk about MCSA, the currently MCSA is retired, but there are role-based alternative for the MCSA. We are going to learn about Microsoft Certified Windows Server Hybrid Administrator Associate. This one. Okay. This is the course curriculum that I have discussed yesterday. Module 1, Windows Server Basic Installation. Then Module 2, Active Directory and Domain Service. Then Module 3, Windows 7 Networking and Storage part. Then fourth module, where we will discuss about Azure, the basics of Azure, creating account on Azure. Then next fifth module, core Azure services related to infrastructure part, like deploying VM, managing VPN, these services. And sixth module, identity and monitoring. Okay. Then job opportunities after completing this system administrator, network administrator, IT support, desktop support, cloud, cloud administrator, DevOps, you can go for it. Then top companies hiring for these roles like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, HCL, Tech Mahindra, IBM, Capgemini, Accenture. These are companies hiring for these roles. Then eligibility criteria. Who is eligible for these certifications? There is a no formal requirement of education. Just you have some basic knowledge, so it is good to have. But if you don't have basic knowledge about computer, network, OS, server, so don't worry. We are going to tell you from the scratch. So no problem it. Okay. This is about our certification course. This is a small recap. Okay. Now we are starting from the very beginning with operating system part. Okay, guys, clear till this?
Yes, guys,
Hello,
kindly speak up, make the interactive, please.
hello, Deepak, administrator. Please
Yes, sir.
speak.
Yes, sir.
Clear till this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everyone used operating system. I am right. Have you used your operating system?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, sir, what is the purpose of using operating system? Why we are using operating system? Any idea?
In theory, I have no idea.
Okay. In practical,
Sir, operating system is a like software.
yeah, it is a software. Like, let me explain it with the example. Okay. Let's suppose you only know English language and I only know Hindi language. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Students, you only know English and I only know Hindi language. If we want to communicate, so can we communicate with different languages?
Mm-hmm.
If we only know the one language? Obviously, no, you can't communicate. If I am saying something in Hindi, they say, oh, what is it? I don't know. Yes, but if I want to communicate, so how I can communicate? I use one translator who know the both the languages. Like I have one person who know both the languages, English and Hindi as well as. So the third person will help us to communicate. So in this condition, in computer, the computer hardware only know the binary language, like 0, 1. And we use our native languages like Hindi, English, Tamil, etc. Okay. So how we will give instruction to the computer hardware? We do not need know the binary language. So for helping us, the operating system comes in the game. Operating system act as an intermediary between user and computer hardware. It helps us to communicate with the computer hardware. Okay. Without operating system, you cannot communicate with your computer. So if you want to use your computer hardware, utilize your resource, so you must need an operating system. Without operating system, you can't control your computer hardware because the computer hardware only knows the binary language, and we user user only know the native languages. So that's why there is a problem. For solving this problem, operating system will come in the game. Now, operating system know both the languages. Operating system can understand our native languages and binary language also. So when we give instruction to our operating system, the operating system will understand our instruction, then pass this instruction to our computer hardware. Then our computer hardware will work. So basically, operating system is a type of system software. Like when we talk about software, so we have two general categories of software. Like, sir, first one is system software, and second one is application software. Okay, there are two main categories of software. First one is system software, and second one is application software. So when we are talking about system software, the best example for the system software is operating system. Sir, can you tell me some characteristics about system software? So yes, system software run in the background. It is essential to work, and it is closely interact with the hardware. It has some minimum requirement to use. Okay. So the general management work is handled by the system software. And sir, what about application software? Sir, application software is designed for specific work. Like if you want to text somebody, so you can use which application? Let's suppose if you want to text somebody, so which application you will use? Anyone? Please tell. If you just have to send some message, which application you will use? Any messaging application.
Yes, sir.
Name one. Like you have used WhatsApp if you want to send some message to somebody. You can use WhatsApp. You can use your Instagram, Facebook, any social media application that allows you to message. Okay, clear. So if you want to send some text, so you will use Messenger application. Then if you want to watch some movie or some video, where you go? Like if you want to some watch movie, so you can go Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube. They're video streaming platforms. So if you want to perform a specific task, so you go for the specific application. Sir, it is type of application software. Okay. System software can run independently. If you talk about operating system, so it does not require any software to run. It just required hardware. And when we talk about application software like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Netflix. So you need a operating system where you can install the software, then you can use it. Okay. So the operating system is one of the type of system software that manages computer hardware, software resources, and provide essential service for computer program. Okay. It acts as intermediary between user and computer hardware. Now, operating system clear? Students, please answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's understand some functions of operating system. Actually, what operating system do? Operating system manages process. Like in our system, there are many processes. So operating system manage all the processes. Like if you are booting your system, so there may be some processes that helping us to boot. So like startup systems, startup applications, all the process is managed by operating system, like printer spooler. These are some processes. And for managing these processes, okay, our operating system is responsible. So process management, Then memory management. If you have your hard disk or SSD, so how will the space will be allocate on this? How you will retrieve? So, sir, allocating, deallocating, like such things is managed in memory management part. Sir, file system. File system is also managed by operating system. Okay. So, the volume, root drive in Windows operating system, which drive is known as root drive in Windows operating system. Anyone know? If you know the answer, you can speak up. Which drive is known as the root drive in Windows operating system?
C drive.
C drive, yes. So operating system is responsible to manage all the file system, creating drives, arranging all the files. Like operating system will automatically create C drive when you allot the space. Then the necessary required files. So all the task is managed by our operating system. Then sir, device management. So we, if we have to manage our hardware, so we need some device drivers that helps us to communicate. Okay. These management part, device management part is also managed by our operating system. And so next, user interface. We have two popular options for the user interface. Okay. The first one is GUI, means graphical user interface, and second one is CLI, command line interface. Okay. We have two options for user interface. First one, sir, GUI, graphical user interface. And sir, second one is CLI, command line based interface. Okay. Our Windows operating system is based on GUI. We are using GUI interface. Sir, what do you mean by GUI? Let's suppose if you have to do some task. For example, if you have to create a folder, you are in your desktop. Okay, let me show. So, let me show you the entire screen. Okay. This desktop is visible to you. This is my computer's desktop. Okay. I am using Windows 11 operating system. Let's verify it. I'm opening the run prompt by pressing Windows plus R. Here I am going to type a command msinfo32. Which commands are msinfo32, and just press enter and one page is appearing to you like system information. If you want to gather information about your particular system, so you can use this command. Which commands are msinfo32. So here you will get all the information about your system, your computer. So, sir, which OS I am using, sir? OS name Microsoft Windows 11 Enterprise. Sir, Windows provide us GUI based user interface. So let's suppose if I want to create a folder, so I just click with the mouse, right click, and you can find there is a plus icon and written new. When we click on it, so we find folder. We want to create a folder. It is simply written like folder, and there is a small icon for the folder. So whenever the operating system is using graphics, visuals for representing the environment interface, so it is GUI based operating system. Like it is very easy to create a folder. Okay. So when we talk about sir CLI version, we are talking about CLI, command line interface. So what, sir? Do you know the example for the command line interface? Anyone? Do you know command line user interface operating systems?
Yes, sir. Like a CLI, here we can get information regarding Windows and we can perform lots of operation here.
Yes. Do you aware about Linux?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Let me tell. So if we talk about operating system, so we have Microsoft, one of the most popular operating system. Okay. Then we have Mac OS. Then we have Linux operating systems. Windows operating system are graphical, GUI based. Okay. So we have all the graphics if you want to perform some task. So you can take help from the graphical interface. Then, sir, Mac OS, it also provides us a graphical interface. So it is user friendly and easy to use. And then the third one is Linux operating system. It is CLI based. Okay. If you will talk about Linux operating system, sir, there is no option for GUI. So if you want to perform some task, so you must have to write a command, appropriate command for this. Let's suppose you are using Linux. Linux look like this, like a black screen. You do not need to use mouse. There is no requirement for the mouse. You can use a whole operating system with the help of command. In Linux operating system, if you want to create a folder, so there is a command mkdir, then the folder name. You can name anything like ABC. Now, if we want to create a folder in GUI based operating system, so it is so easy. Without having any professional training, you can create a folder easily. But in CLI based operating system, if you want to do some small tasks, so if you must have to know the knowledge, basic knowledge about the operating system, then you can perform a very small task. If you want to create a folder, so you must have to type a appropriate command for this. Okay. So CLI operating system looks like this. This is not exactly CLI operating system. This is our Windows CMD. I'm just giving you a small example like scenario. Our CLI based operating system look like this. Okay. And you are very aware about graphical interface. Everyone using Windows today. Okay. So sir, this is about user interface. We have two type of user interface. Sir, GUI based. Which one, sir? GUI, graphical user interface. And sir, second one, command line. Okay, CLI, command line interface. So we have two type of interfaces. Okay, clear? Everyone clear?
Yes, sir. In the chat box also mentioned.
Okay. Next, operating system also manages the security part. Like if I use my computer, so there is a step of authentication in my lock screen. Like who are going to use the system, please specify the user, enter the credentials. So our operating system will authenticate us. Okay. Operating system is also responsible for managing the security part. Now, operating system is clear to everyone. Our next discussion, let's move. Sir, if you talk about operating system, so we have mainly two type of operating system. Like one is our server OS, server operating system, and second one is client operating system. Okay. Do you aware about client and server? So if when we talk about server, server is designed to handle network resources, managing user, serving to the client, handling the client requests. Okay. Basically, server is a normal machine that have some high configuration and that is responsible to serve multiple clients. When we talk about client OS, it is designed for personal use, like personal computing tasks. If you want to do some office work, so you can use your Excel, Word, PowerPoint, such type of application. If you want some entertaining application, like entertainment purpose, you can use any website like Netflix, Amazon Prime. So you can use these things in client operating system. But the server operating system, you are especially used for creating some sort of servers. Like if you want to share file, so you will create FTP server using FTP protocol, file transfer protocol. Okay. Now we have SFTP option also, secure file transfer protocol. And if you want to create a web server, so you can create a web server on server operating system. Like if I have one website, I have created a new website and I want that website will be publicly available. So what I can do? I have to host the website. So after hosting my website, it is available for the general public. For the hosting purpose, we required one server. Okay. Now we generally, if you are a normal developer, so you use any third-party company like Hostinger to host your websites. But if you are an organization, you already have a server for your services. So it is better to host your web server. So you can use self-hosted web server. So you do not have to pay any other charges to third person. You have your own server, so you can run your websites on your own server. Okay. And database management, security management, this type of works you can do in server operating system. Clear? Then, sir, when we talk about performance, then we know server is designed to handle multiple requests. So it means it must have to be high performance, must have to be multitasking. So if you compare about performance wise, so the server operating system have higher performance. It is very optimized for the high performance. And the client operating system is based on the user need. If user have a general purpose, so it must be a general laptop like you are using normal processor i3 11 gen 12 gen, it is sufficient. If you have some little bit heavy task, so you can go for i5 12 gen processor like this. Okay. Then hardware requirements. So if you want high performance, so you must need a high configuration hardware. So for the servers, we use high configuration hardware like more RAM, more CPU. Okay. And when we talk about client operating system, it is okay with the one CPU, less RAM. Clear? Sir, if we want to use a server, what are the ideal options we have for using server operating system? So, sir, Microsoft provides us the best way. Like if you want a GUI way, like you want a graphical interface. So your first choice will be Microsoft. Microsoft provide like servers, Microsoft Windows Server 2016, 19, 22, 25. These are server operating systems. And Microsoft also provide client operating systems like Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, like this. Okay. Then we have second option, Linux operating systems. So Linux operating system are used as well as the client operating system and server operating system. If you are using Linux operating system for the server, so you have to install the required packages, okay, that make it as act as a server operating system. Okay. So you can use Linux operating system, same operating system for the both the purposes, like for the client OS. If you are using for the client purpose, client OS purpose, you do not have to install any services. But if you want to run a web server, so you have to install the required services, then it will be act as the server operating system. So for the hosting webs, so there are most popular Apache server and Nginx server. So you can install it, then your Linux machine will be converted into a server. Then sir, third option, we have Mac OSs. We have separate OS for server and we have separate OS for client use. Okay. There are some popular options for client and server operating system. We are learning about Windows Server. Windows Server is very user friendly. Like we are have multiple options. But why, sir, we are going for the Windows Server? Sir, Windows Server is one of the most user friendly server. It is easy to learn. So that's why we are first going to learn Windows Server. And if you talk about industries, like many big industry are using Windows Server from small scale industry to large scale industries. Windows Server are widely used. Okay. So guys, have you installed operating system?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
Windows.
Windows operating system. So sir, what are the ways to install a operating system?
Sir, just plug in USB drive and
Yes.
next follow some instruction and
Okay, okay. Done. Good to go. Okay. So if you want to use an operating system, so there are many ways to use it. What you can do, you can directly install on your hardware. Like you have one computer hardware, and we use Windows 10 operating system. So just we can create a bootable media like USB. You can use USB, CD, DVD, or network to boot your machine. So we can use one of these options. You can directly install operating system your computer hardware. Okay. Then sir, we have second option to use operating system. Like if we want to use multiple operating system, like two operating systems, Windows 10 as well as and 11. So if you want to use two operating system in same computer, okay, so you can go with the dual boot option. if you want two operating system in one computer, so you can also go with dual boot option. Okay. Then, sir, we have next option, virtual machine. Like we are learning, we are going to learn Windows operating system, which ones are Windows Server. So if you want to learn any operating system, so you must have to install it and practice. Practice is important. So how you use for learning purpose, the best way to use an operating system is virtual machine. We are going to use this method. Okay. We are going to create some virtual machines. Within the virtual machine, we will install our operating system like Windows Server. Then we install our client machine like Windows 10. Okay. So if you have one computer and you have used multiple operating system, then you can go with virtual machine. Virtual machine we are going to study in deep in the next slides. Okay. So live USB. Some operating system we do not have to install. We can directly use them. So like Hiren Boot, Medikit, these operating system. So we just need a pen drive to install our operating system, and we can plug our pen drive in any computer and use our operating system. And sir, we have WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux. There's a popular option when you are using a Windows computer and you want to use a Linux machine. So you can use it, WSL. Sir, PXE boot. This requires a setup. So you will set up a PXE server. So with the help of PXE server, you can boot single computer with the multiple operating systems. Okay. Or you can use Cloud VM. We are also going to use the Cloud VM. Okay. There are ways with the we can install our operating system in any computer and we can use the operating system. So in this session, mostly we are using the virtual machines because it is best for testing purpose. Like we are learning, if you want to learn operating system, Windows Server, so you want operating system. So there is a one option that you can boot your own machine with the Windows Server, but you are not completed your course. If you installed Windows Server on your machine and you get trapped when you know the how to use, you don't know. So that's why there is a trouble for you. So the safe way to use an operating system and test with the full experience and easy to use, we can going to use virtual machines. So let's talk about virtual machine. Okay, what is actually a virtual machine? I'm talking about virtual machine, virtual machine, virtual machine. So what is it actually? Okay, let's understand it. A virtual machine is a computer resource that use software instead of physical computer to run a program and deploy apps. Sir, what does it mean? Let me explain. Like you have to use two operating system, like same Windows 10, Windows 11. I have my computer and I have installed Windows 11 in it. So if you are talking about my computer, I am using Windows 11. But sir, I want to use another operating system. I'm going to learn server. So I need one server OS, Windows operating system, Windows Server operating system we need. Okay. So sir, how I can install for that purpose? What I can use? I can use virtual machine. What it actually do, sir? Let me show something. Like if you open task manager, I will open. This is my task manager. Like performance. If you will go in the performance session, you will see all the utilization of your resources. Like I have some CPU, RAM, disk. You can see all over utilization. Okay. So let's suppose I have 8 GB of RAM. I have 8 GB of RAM in my computer. And sir, I want operating system, another operating system. So what can I do? Sir, I simply do. I install one application that is hypervisor that helps us to create virtual machine. Virtual machine provide us a logical hardware. Like if you want to install operating system, you need a hardware. So rather than buying a physical hardware, you can separate some hardware from your main machine, main system. That is VM. Like I separate some RAM. I have total 8 GB of RAM. So I can separate 4 GB of RAM treated as a separate hardware. What's a 4 GB RAM is treated as a separate hardware. Like I have CPU. I have total number of 2 cores. So I can separate it. Like one core for my this machine, Windows 11 machine, and one core for my next machine. Which operating system you want to install, like Windows 10. So we can use Windows 10 with one core and Windows 11 with one core. I have physical hardware one, but I am separating it into a logical units. So separating hardware in logical units is done by hypervisors. And after separating this hardware, we can use our operating system. So the separated part of our main hardware is known as the virtual machine. Okay. What, sir? We are not using the physical computer to run our operating system. We have one physical hardware. We are going to separate it and use as a different hardware. So we can split our hardware, and the splitted part of our hardware is known as virtual machine, a separate isolated space where you can deploy your applications and operating systems. So you can deploy your service in a isolated space. Okay. So sir, one or more virtual machine can be created. You can create one or more virtual machine. Like if you have a good amount of RAM, you have 16 GB of RAM. So you can divide it into 4 slot. So you can use multiple VMs. So virtual machine is also known as guest machine. And the actual machine, your real hardware and real operating system, is known as host machine. Okay. And each virtual machine, each separation of hardware have their own operating system that is run separately. Okay. For creating VM virtual machine, there is a one technology that helps us to create our virtual machine. It is, sir, hypervisors. We have little bit discussed about it in yesterday's class. Okay. L- Let's discuss it in the brief. For creating VM, there is a one terminology like hypervisor. If you want to create a virtual machine, so we have hypervisor. What it do, sir? It helps us to separate our hardware to creating a logical unit of our physical hardware. So with the help of hypervisor, we are creating our virtual machines. So we must have to use a one hypervisor application that helps us to create multiple virtual machines. Okay. So sir, there are two type of hypervisors. First one, type 1, then second, type 2. Type 1 is also known as bare metal hypervisor. Type 2 is also known as hosted hypervisor. Okay. So what is the difference between type 1 and type 2? The type 1 hypervisor is directly installed on your physical hardware, host hardware. Okay. And when you talk about type 2, it's must have and another operating system to install. Like if you don't have any operating system, you can't install type 2 hypervisor. It must run on the top of the host hardware. Okay. Then there is an image that helps you understand more better. Like type 1, we have our computer and the hardware part. We have a physical hardware and we are going to install directly our type 1 hypervisor on our physical hardware. So now with the help of hypervisor installed in our hardware, we can create multiple virtual machines like VM1, VM2. Okay. So it is directly installed your computer hardware. Sir, if you talk about examples, we have Proxmox. This is an open source type 1 hypervisor. Then, sir, we have our VMware ESXi. Then we have Citrix. Then we have Hyper-V. Okay. These are some examples of type 1 hypervisors. Okay. So, sir, next type 2 hypervisor. We have our hardware and already one operating system running on it. We have, like, let's suppose I have my Windows 11 operating system running on it. Then I have some applications like Zoom, PowerPoint, browsers. Okay. And within my host operating system in Windows 11, I'm going to install one hypervisor application that helps me, that allows me to split my hardware into logical unit. So then I can create separate VMs like VM1, VM2. Every VM have their own operating system. Okay. With the hypervisor, we just giving a logical separation to our physical hardware. After this, you have to install the operating system and all the things in your VM. Clear? And when we talk about examples of type 2 hypervisors, sir, we have Oracle, VirtualBox, VMware Workstation Pro, Parallel Desktop. These are some type 2 hypervisor applications. So you can read this page for more idea. Okay, I have explained it. Clear till this? Next,
Yes, sir.
now let's move towards the practical part.
Should we extend the class today or should we sum up for the day, sir?
Let's extend a little bit.
Yeah, 10-15 minutes we can extend, then we can sum up the class for today. Yeah.
Yes. So let's do some practical work. For our learning purpose, we are going to use type 2 hypervisor. Okay, everyone. We are going to use type 2 hypervisor. Sir, I have told some examples for type 2 hypervisor. Can you repeat which example I have told? Like I have told Oracle VirtualBox, VMware Workstation Pro. Okay. So for our learning purpose, we are going to use Oracle VirtualBox. So let's take a practical demonstration how to install the type 2 hypervisor Oracle VirtualBox. Okay. So let's start. First, we have to open any browser. Like I'm opening Chrome, Google Chrome. Here you have to type what's a VirtualBox. You have to type VirtualBox. We are going to use Oracle VirtualBox. So you have to type VirtualBox. Then first link will be appear. It is virtualbox.org. This is the official website where you can download the VirtualBox application. It is the type 2 hypervisor. Okay, just I'm going inside the website. Here you can find a download button. Now click on the downloads tab. Here, VirtualBox platform packages. Here you have to download your file of VirtualBox according to your host operating system. Like in my condition, I'm using which operating system, sir? Windows 11. If I am using Windows 11, so which host I am using? Windows host. I click on Windows host. Now the exe file is started downloading. Here it is. Just wait for the few minutes. It will be download. It's depend on your internet speed. After downloading this file, you must have to install it.
So this
After
software is
downloading,
free or paid?
this is free.
Free.
Yes, you do not have to pay any licensing. It is free, of course. Freeware software it is. So just after completing downloading, just click on the application to install it. Then if you are new user, so you will get this prompt, which if you are using Oracle VirtualBox, so you must need some application installed in your computer first. Okay. Like it is a prerequisite or dependency for Oracle VirtualBox. So you will get this message. This message is telling you which application you need. Like Microsoft Visual C++ 2019 redistributable, you require to install in your system before installing Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, so let's install it first. So here I'm going in the new tab. MS Visual C++ 2019 redistributable. This is the official website where you can go and download it. This is the official website. So here you have to download it. So this is according to my machine. I am using Windows 11 64-bit machine. So I am installing this package. Now this is downloaded. Just quickly install it. Accept all the terms and conditions. Then click on install. And it will start it installing. After installing this software, you must restart your computer before you use. So it is mandatory to restart. I am not going to restart, okay? If I will restart, the meeting will end, okay? So when you are doing so, must restart your computer. After installing Microsoft Visual C++ redistributable, you must have to restart your computer. After restarting, again, click on your file, VirtualBox, and you will prompt some installation steps, okay? Where you have to define, where you have to install this software, like where you want to install the VirtualBox, okay? Can I restart my machine? Can you wait for 2 minutes? So I will show you the practical how to install it. Or otherwise you can install it as a homework. It is just have some simple step. Students response.
Okay, sir, just restart. I will rejoin.
Okay. Now you just have to wait. You do not need to rejoin. I will rejoin after restart. Okay.
Yes, guys, can you rename yourself as well, please? Both are coming with the
Okay,
admin.
sir. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, I am back. Now let me show you the installation process of VirtualBox. After downloading Microsoft Visual C++ 2019 redistributable, you must have to restart your computer. Then after installing it, you can continue your VirtualBox installation. So present my screen. Okay, so let's start. We have downloaded the VirtualBox file. Here it is. I just double click on it. Now it is prompting me for the installation. Okay. So welcome, sir. Welcome to Oracle VirtualBox. This is the setup wizard. Now click on the next. Here you have to accept the licensing. Yes, and agree with the license. So this is the path how this application will going to install. You can change it if you want. The next network interface it will provide you. Okay. Just if you want to create some shortcuts, so you can leave the checkouts. If you don't create shortcut, you can uncheck it. Then clicking on next, clicking on install, it will going to install. It is started. You can use Oracle VirtualBox either if you want to use VMware Workstation Pro, so you can also use VMware Workstation Pro. Okay, there is a no restriction which hypervisor you want to use. The installation is completed. Just click on finish and the application will automatically start it. This is your application. Okay, so you have successfully installed the Oracle VirtualBox. Here we are going to create our virtual machines. Okay, so let's sum up the class and we will continue in the next session. Clear till this, everyone? How to install, how to use and the theory part that we have covered. Anyone have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's end today's discussion. We'll continue in next class. Okay.
I have one confusion, like same thing we can do in Windows and as well as Windows server operating system. Like server configuration is different from your uh, local machine, like Windows machine.
We have to learn Microsoft Server. Okay.
Hmm. No, like through
So
VM,
yeah,
uh,
yes.
we can create
If you
virtual
want to
machine in
use
both.
VirtualBox in Windows Server,
Hmm.
the steps is similar. You can use.
Like I have my laptop with 16 GB RAM, and in this laptop I can create a virtual machine for Windows Server OS.
Okay. Yes, you can.
Okay, sir. So in Windows Server we require some option like KL and all that.
If you want to create a virtual machine inside a Windows server,
Mm-hmm.
so you just need to install the hypervisor that you want to use. There is no additional settings for this. Okay. You just
Okay.
must have to verify one thing before going to use your VM, which is virtualization is enabled in your system or not.
Okay, sir. This will comes in our next class, I think.
Yes,
Okay, sir. No issue.
this will be discussed in the later sessions.
Okay, sir.
Is any other doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, great.
Yes, sir. I think we are good to go for today, and we'll meet in the next session, guys. So have a good weekend. Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the time today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.